Welcome to Season 2 of the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by community members and friends of Shekina Garden in Pai, Thailand. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode show notes and other information at shekinacommunity.com.
Hi everyone, this is Ro. I'm sitting here with my buddy Ray. Hi Ray.
Hey Ro.
Hello. Today it is season 2, episode 62 of the podcast. Can you believe it? So as always, you dear ones, our patrons, you are supporting this podcast. We can put this out because of you. We're always raising money to help keep our community going, and your patronage is part of the way that we do that, just every month. There's all different things that we need to buy or spend money on or just keep running, and every little bit helps so much. So if you're interested, you can support and find us at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast and support us for as much as you like. It starts at $1 a month, so very doable. Please consider it.
Yeah, thank you. And another way that you can support us is, if you are looking for a way to support us, is by rating or reviewing us on iTunes, which is super helpful. Or you can also share the podcast some other way. So on Instagram or Facebook, we're on Spotify. You can share that easily on your Instagram feed, or you can share it with your friends and families, or the people at your grocery store, or the people at your gas station. And when you support the podcast, we just get this little glowing feeling inside that says, this is appreciated. You appreciate that we put it into the world. So thank you so much.
So today's meditation, friends, is a Lectio Divina on Luke chapter 6, verses 27 to 35 with Neil. Neil will offer us some exercises just to help us bring our minds into a quiet, meditative space, get us ready. And then he'll guide us through the meditation on the verses with lots of space and quiet and some simple questions along the way.
And for the third part of your meditation, we always recommend that you take a little moment to process. So you might do that with others, if you're with others while you are listening to this. Or if you're on your own, you might just take some time to write in a journal, or make a voice note, or draw a picture, or something like that. If you're with others, it's really great to practice listening well, which just means letting people talk for a little while, taking turns, passing a talking stick or a stone around, and just listening without offering too many comments on what each of you says. It's such a good practice. We love it so much.
Yeah, it's a gift, really, that we get to give to each other. Let's begin.
Oh yeah, find a comfortable position, something that you can hold for a while. I invite you to close your eyes and bring attention to your breath. Just breathing normally and comfortably. Bring your focus your awareness on the sensation of breathing. What does it feel like to breathe? As you feel the air enter into your mouth or nose, go down your throat and into your lungs. You feel your body move as your lungs fill with air, and then move again as you breathe out. pay attention to each of those sensations. Are there any smells in the air? Does the air feel different from when it enters to when it comes out? Let's now expand our focus of our awareness, attention to the other sensations in our body. How does it feel to be in your body this morning? Are there any aches or pains? Or the sensation of the wind on your skin, or the warmth where you sit? If you feel the need to stretch a little bit to give some relief to anything that is sore or stiff, and feel free. Maybe you would like to take a deeper breath, or a few deeper breaths, and let out a sigh, just to be able to relax into this time. Now let's shift our attention from our bodies to the sounds around us. What can you hear? Take a few moments to listen to each sound that you hear. Perhaps imagine what it looks like, and move on to the next. What is the most distant sound? And what is the closest sound? The purpose of these little exercises of body and sound are to help us bring us into the present, to bring us into the here and now, and to help clear our minds. So if you find that your mind is distracted during this time, and come back to the sounds, come back to your body, come back to your breath, and rejoin contemplation and meditation. And now I would like to encourage or invite you in your imagination that on your lap there is a piece of material, some cloth. And upon that cloth there are some flowers. And this cloth and these flowers are sitting in your lap. We've all come from different experiences of today and of the week so far. And perhaps there are things on your mind. There are concerns or worries or things to do or things in the future that you are excited about. Things that may come into your heart and your mind that might distract you from this time. And so we can let these flowers represent those worries or concerns, those things to do, those distractions. And so take some time now to also imagine a bowl in front of you and to pick up a flower and to let it represent something that may be worrying you, something that may be on your mind, that may distract you. And let that flower represent that thing. And when you've chosen what that flower may represent, take that flower and place it into the bowl in front of you. Maybe it might represent a bad night's sleep or something in a workshop in the future that you want to attend. Let them represent your flowers, and then take those flowers and place them into your bowl. And when you've emptied your lap of your flowers and they're all in your bowl, when that's done, take your piece of material, your cloth, and place it over the top of your bowl, so that your flowers are out of sight and out of mind. Let's set them aside. And then to really make them out of sight and out of mind, pick up your bowl and place it behind you. They'll still be there at the end of the meditation. And if you choose to, you can pick them up again. But for now, let's just place them behind us. And into this clear space before us, I would encourage you to invite the divine. This divine presence. A clear space to meet with the divine. And as I read these words of Jesus, perhaps the divine would like to speak to you through them. Yeah, I encourage you to be open to that opportunity. This little passage of scripture is coming from the book of Luke, in chapter 6. And for this first reading, just allow the words to come to you as if you're hearing them for the first time. Perhaps it is the first time. Allow the words to wash over you as if it's a letter from a friend. Trying not to pass judgment or to analyze. Just hear the words as they come to you. Jesus said, "I tell you who hear me, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. If someone strikes you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your cloak, do not stop them from taking your tunic. Give to everyone who asks you, and if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even evil people love those who love them. And if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even wicked people do that. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. But love your enemies. Do good to them and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you'll be sons and daughters of the Most High God, because He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. How did that make you feel? Was there anything that stood out? Anything that resonated? Or anything that was jarring? Or confrontation? You are free to be honest. Were there any questions that arose? If so, then I encourage you that during the next reading to explore, to ask those questions again. Use your mind and your heart to follow what might it mean. Where does it touch your life? And what might the divine be speaking to you? For the next reading, I'll read each phrase twice and then leave some space. Jesus said, I tell you who hear me, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. I tell you who hear me, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. If someone strikes you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your cloak, do not stop them from taking your tunic. If someone strikes you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your cloak, do not stop them from taking your tunic. If someone takes your... Give to everyone who asks you. And if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. Give to everyone who asks you. And if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even evil people love those who love them. And if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even wicked people do that. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even evil people love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? Even wicked people do that. And if you lend to those who lent to you, expecting repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners expect to be repaid. Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. But love your enemies. Do good to them and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be sons and daughters of the Most High God, because He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. But love your enemies. Do good to them and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be sons and daughters of the Most High God, because He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Where have these words taken you? Is there something that the Divine wishes to tell you? For the final reading, I encourage you to respond to the Divine, or to take something from this experience. Maybe make a sentence or a challenge or a celebration, something to distill down that you can carry with you for the rest of the day. Perhaps a prayer. Jesus said, "I tell you who hear me, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. And pray for those who mistreat you. If someone strikes you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your cloak, do not stop them from taking your tunic. Give to everyone who asks of you. And if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even evil people love those who love them. And if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even wicked people do that. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. But love your enemies. Do good to them and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be sons and daughters of the Most High God. Because He is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. I hope you have your prayer. I hope you have your response, whatever it might be. And as we come to the end of this phase of the meditation, you might like to offer up a prayer of thanks, or gratitude, or whatever seems appropriate. And I encourage you to come back to your breath and come back to the sounds around us. Become aware of the space that you're sitting in, of the people around you. You might want to also wriggle your toes or wriggle your nose, stretch a bit, just becoming aware of where we are. And in your own time, as a sign of continuing on to our sharing circle, you can open your eyes and come back to a seated position.
Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation available each week, so don't forget to subscribe to iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Also, you can rate,